Hello everyone and welcome to the Gunpla Network. I'm the Spicer and today's unboxing of the real grade Evangelion Unit-01 comes to you courtesy of Canadian Gundam. Canadian Gundam is your one-stop shop for all your Plamo and Gunpla needs here in North America. When you're placing an order with Canadian Gundam, don't forget to use the promo code Gunpla Network for 10% off. For those of you unfamiliar with this crazy looking Evangelion Unit-01, allow me just a few moments to fill you in. Neon Genesis Evangelion first aired back in 1995, right in the middle of Bandai's expansion of their alternative universes, with shows such as G Gundam and Gundam Wing. Neon Genesis Evangelion was pretty different in tone by comparison, providing a wide range of somewhat goofy antics and incredibly depressing backstories. In the story itself, we do join 14-year-old Shinji Ikari, who absolutely hates getting into robots, as he joins the secretive nerve organization. Here, Shinji boy not only meets his father for the first time in a few years, but the ominous-looking Evangelion Unit-01, a man-made weapon designed to fight off the angels who are threatening to destroy mankind. If you're in the US, you can catch this on Netflix, but do be warned, the new Netflix dub is kind of stilted and a little awkward sounding. Evangelion, much like Gundam, has cemented its place in the anime world and even has new content coming out till today, prolonging the ever-important waifu war between Rei and Asuka, and then throwing Mari in there a little bit later. The ongoing rebuild of Evangelion movies have updated the original design of the Evas, but still stayed fairly true to the original design concepts. Neon Genesis Evangelion is undoubtedly a major event in history of the mecha genre, but we're here to look at the big purple boy slash girl slash celestial entity in plastic. But before we hit that plastic, we'll be taking a look at this big boy of a box. While it's not all that thick, it does have about the same surface area as the Master Grade Dynamis box, so get ready to make some room either in your backlog or on your shelf. Now this is the DX version that comes with the transport platform, and that I think does make the box a little bit bigger, but I still think the regular Eva box is pretty large in terms of just surface area. It's pretty wide, but it's not very thick. Now, I opened it, looked through it, and none of the runners really necessitate a box this large. This is a little odd that they chose this, but this came out around the same time that the new Gundam had, so maybe Bandai's thinking was, okay, if we make the box bigger and more imposing looking on a shelf, people will think, oh, there's more plastic in it, or it's better, and then they'll pick it up and purchase it. And it could also just be that they're trying to differentiate the Evangelion line from everything else that had come before it, save the new Gundam and the Sazabi. Everything else, even the real grade Force Impulse, has a fairly normal sized real grade box, so this is a little different. Not sure if that was intentional or if Bandai just thought, why not make a bigger box, but it is what it is. Now the box art on the front and on two of the sides does look phenomenal. It's pretty standard for the real grade line, but with such a striking silhouette and something that's really different in comparison to Gundam, it does look really nice. The face shot looks great, the horn, the eyes, you get the full body shot with all the detail and kind of the, I don't want to say a slouching look, but you know, the really lanky limbs. It does look pretty good, and it gives you an idea of what you'll be getting once it's all built. Now, while this is pretty standard for the real grade line, there's nothing too crazy in terms of the box. It is somewhat unique, and I'm not sure exactly why. I'm not really 100% on how to articulate why I get a different vibe from this box, but it does kind of remind me of Bandai's Full Metal Panic run model kits that they've done over the last few years, where they're pretty similar to real grade boxes in terms of size and design and even kind of how everything's placed on the box itself, but they still kind of had their own vibe, and I don't really know if it's because the artwork or some of the placement or what it was, but same thing here. This feels distinctly different. I don't want to say distinctly Evangelion, but different from what we had, so it's just a little something I've kind of noticed looking through this box, but you know, that's pretty much all I've got to say. It's a box. It looks good, it holds things pretty solid. Now, This is a new series for the Real Grade line, and I'm really excited to see what comes after. I know they're still doing Evangelions, but maybe we'll get some other Real Grade stuff in the future. But we're here to focus on that plastic crack we all love, so let's jump into those runners. Now, in terms of the actual runner number, there's a lot in here. We get all the way up to, I think, L or M, so we've got a lot to get through. The A plate here is in purple, pretty standard, nothing out of the ordinary. B is just a bigger variant of that, so maybe some distinctive parts, but other parts that'll go for like the arms and the legs. Then on the C plate, it looks like it's going to be most of the inner frame and a couple of other things, like we see the prog knives on there, so pretty cool. You also get that on the D plate, looks like more of the inner frame, so it's kind of a mini master grade vibe, more so than what we would be seeing in like a pre-molded frame. Then we've got the E plate, more of kind of the black color in there. It's kind of like a black gray, or maybe it's just kind of the finish on it. But it will be a nice contrast to the purple. And then as we go down, we see the F plate in a bright red. So very few pieces on here that will be bright red, but they will be really nice accents. We also have the G1 plate in that notorious neon green color, which is something that is very definitively Eva and will help this stand out on your shelf a lot. We also have the H plate in a nice gunmetal silver. It's not chrome or anything, but it is still pretty good. There's not a lot of marbling because most of these pieces aren't super big, so you don't have to really concern yourself there. We have an orange plate with the I plate. Still, once again, mostly just little pieces, really nice accents here and there, nothing crazy. Then the J plate is going to be kind of reminiscent of an A plate for a normal model kit, or normal Bandai kit. Multiple colors, you've got the purple, you've got the white for the plug, you've got the pallet gun on there with the kind of the black and the green color, so that's pretty cool looking. Then you've got another gunmetal color here with the K plate. I think this is slightly shinier. Once again, not chromed, but just a little bit more silver. A little bit of marbling too, but not too bad. The L plate is the singular clear red piece, the only clear plastic on this kit. Then we have the M plate, which is actually pretty interesting, and I didn't have this spinning because I want to point out a couple of things. If this is what we're getting instead of pre-molded inner frames, I'm 100% down. It's like the horn is a singular piece. There's no stickers, multiple colors of plastic. A little concerned on the nubs with that, but I think it's going to look really good. Then you've got the two green pieces that have green and black on them, and then you've got the white and the black piece, which I think, if I'm correct, is the head of the eye unit. So that is kind of cool that it's all really different. This isn't something I have ever recalled seeing in a real grade. This kind of technology, if we see this more, I'm super excited, and I really hope we do. I mean, it's a really good idea. Then we get into all the stuff for the extras, the transport platform, and this is actually like a green color, more so of like what the pallet guns cover is on the J plate, but it looks gray here. I'm terribly sorry about that. I tried a couple of different lighting things, but it just looks gray. I can assure you it is green. You get a couple of different ones, A, B, and C. You get 2 Bs and 2 Cs. Pretty standard. If you get just the regular version, these won't be in here, but they look good. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. There's some lining opportunities here and there, but I think it'll be cool to have on a shelf with it. You have the stickers, which the kind of bottom half is almost entirely for the transport platform. The rest of them, mostly in white. It's really hard to make out on the sheet here, but you can see them pretty well on the kit. You get the manual, pretty standard, looks good, same box art, very shiny, very glossy finish on that Eva there. Then you get a bendable wire, which I have to say is one of the most satisfying bendable wires I've ever messed with. It's thick, the coating is really nice, it bends really easily and stays in place. This would be something if we get in other kits for, like, example, the Zeong to hold up the arms. I don't think this would hold up the arms, but it would do a pretty good job with a small stand, so that would be cool. And then we have the infamous AT field, and this is actually a really nice effect. I have to say, Bandai knocked this one out of the park. It looks really good. It doesn't look cheap. And I think once we get the Ava holding it, it is going to look really, really cool. Generally speaking, I'm really excited about this. My wife and I just started watching Evangelion on Netflix. She hadn't seen it before, and it's been years since I've watched the original, so this was like the perfect time for me to build this. And I don't know, it's nice to see a change of pace. The last few kits I've built have been real grades, with the exception of one master grade, so I haven't had just a different build. They've all kind of been, fairly small parts and everything, and pretty standard Gundam fare. But I'm very excited to build this. I think it's going to be pretty unique in terms of its inner frame. The colors are going to be really cool, and I might actually put some more of the stickers on here. Not sure how they'll turn out, but we'll see for the review. I'm really excited. That's all I have to say. I really can't pick out anything in particular. I'm just stoked to get into building it. In those comments down below, if you've built it, let me know what your experience was, and if you haven't, let me know what you think I will experience. So what do you think we're going to run into problem-wise, or what should I look out for? And of course, leave any other comments, any other questions below. I'll do my best to answer them. If I don't know, I'll try to find out. But this has been this unboxing. I'm the Spicer, this has been the Gunpla Network, and as always, friends, keep on building.